Hi friends, good morning everybody. I hope that you are all doing well. Welcome to 9th standard English lessons, The Enchanted Pool. I hope that you are enjoying the video classes and have been watching even the classes at the DD1 too. See my dear friends, the present poem Enchanted Pool is taken from the story written by C. Rajagopalachari. Chakravarti Rajagopalachari is a well-known freedom fighter, a great patriot and an expert statesman. He has written number of books also. The Bhagavad Gita, the Upanishads, the Ramayana and Mahabharata are the books that he has written. The present story called The Enchanted Pool is also taken from the story called Mahabharata. We all know the story of Mahabharata. Mahabharata is a great epic of the Hindu religion. Moreover, it's a story of good and evil. Am I right, my dear friends? Mahabharata is the story of good and evil. All the religious epics preaches the same thing, my dear friends. Quran also preaches the same thing. Bible also preaches the good and evil. Even the Granth Sahib, Ramayana and Mahabharata. Every epics, the religious epics preaches the same thing about the good and evil. In Mahabharata also that we know that it's a story of Kauravas and Pandavas. Pandavas stands for the good, whereas Kauravas stands for the evil. Pandavas are 5 in numbers, Kauravas are 101 in numbers. Though they are the brothers, though they are the kith and kins, there was an enmity between the Kauravas and Pandavas. Kauravas are the sons of Dhritarashtra and Gandhari. Pandavas are the sons of Pandu and his 2 wives called Kunti and Madri. The Pandavas are 5 in numbers. They are, can you say who are Pandavas? Yes, of course, you are right. They are Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula and Sahadeva. Pandu has 2 wives called Kunti and Madri. Kunti have the Dhritarashtra, Arjuna and Bhima are the sons of Kunti and Pandu. Sahadeva and Nakula are the sons of Pandu and Madri. So these Pandavas have lost their state because of the game of dice against the Duryodhana or Kauravas. As far as when they lost the game of dice, they were sent to forest for 12 years. In this picture that you can see the sons of Pandu Raja, Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna and Nakula, Sahadeva, my dear friends. Got it? So, as we know that these Pandavas are the sons of Pandu Raja and Kunti, and they married Draupadi. In this picture that you can, look at Draupadi also. See, all the 5 brothers are seen in this picture. It is an imaginary picture of the Pandavas. Now this serial is telecasting even in many of the channels, in our TV channel children. This is a great epic. Yes, I suggest you to watch this serial in your television, my dear friends. So As I said, it's a story of good and evil. The Pandavas lost everything in the game of dice. That's why they were sent to live in a forest for 12 years and 1 year in incognito. When they were living in forest, they were leading a wandering life, my dear friends. They were moving from one place to another. When they were living a wandering life, they learned so many things and they have been tested by so many people, my dear friends. In the same way, one of the gods have tested the Pandavas while they are wandering in a forest, and it took the form of deer and it tried patience of all the Pandavas, my dear friends. The story is based on that theory in which where one of the gods have tested the Pandavas near the pool. Okay, my dear friends. In this story, let us see the background of this story, my dear friends. In Mahabharata, the Pandavas lost everything in the game of dice to the Kauravas and had been live in a forest for 12 years. During this period, they had to constantly move from one place to another for the safety and to meet their daily needs. One day, in the 12th year, the Pandava brothers wandered deep into the forest in pursuit of a deer. See, while they are wandering in a forest, one day they went in search of a deer, in pursuit of a deer in the forest. Now the story goes on, my dear friends. They were following a deer, they were attracted by the deer and they started to chase the deer. When they were tracking the deer children, they failed to track the deer. It was running very faster and faster. They were unable to catch the deer by trying to catch the deer. They were failed to catch it, and all the Pandavas was tired. Got it? When they tired, when they were very much tired, then the story starts, children. That is called the enchanted pool. You might have heard this word enchanted. Enchanted in the sense a magic. Okay. Pool in the sense, yes, kola. Yes. Shall we start the lesson? Yes. Let us start. All of you open your textbook, page number 2. The sun was hot overhead, and all the 5 brothers grew more and more weary and thirsty. Yudhishthira sat down under a tree to rest and said, Nakula, brother, climb that tree and see whether there is any pool or river nearby. Nakula climbed the tree, looked around and said, at a little distance I see water plants and cranes. There must certainly be the water there. Look at the paragraph, my dear friends. See, in this paragraph, that we come across some words. Yes, see, there are some words. Thirsty, sank down. Am I right, my dear friends? Looked around, water plants. Am I right? The sun was hot overhead, and all 5 brothers grew more and more weary and thirsty. Got it, my dear friends? Yes. So it means the story begins with this incident, children, that all the Pandavas are very tired because it was summer, my dear friends. The sun was hot overhead. Hot overhead in the sense it is, okay, it seems to be a summer. In summer, it's very difficult for us to, okay, walk in the outside because we can't control the heat in the outside. The Pandavas were, okay, running for the, they ran in chasing the deer now. That's why they are also very tired. But all the four brothers grew more and more weary and thirsty. Weary in the sense they were tired and thirsty. Thirsty means a quench of water. They need water in order to quench their thirst, my dear friends. So they needed water. All the five brothers are very much tired. They need some water now. They were. So at last Yudhishthira, okay, give up the chasing of deer and he sat down under the tree. He sat down under the tree for the rest, and he told one of his brother to see whether there is any water source. Am I right? Whom did Yudhishthira say to search for water? Yes, you are right. He said Nakula to search water, any water sources are nearby. Did Nakula search the water? Yes, he searched. He went to search for the water. But to search water, he did some trick, children. What trick that he did? What did Nakula did to search the water? He planned. Okay, am I right? What did he do, children? Yes, you are right. He climbed up the nearby tree and he looked around him. Am I right? Nakula climbed up the nearby tree and looked around him. So how can one find out the water source by climbing the tree? Yes, there was a clue now. Yes, how come Nakula come to know the water sources? By climbing up the tree. Very good. You are right, children. See here, when he has climbed up the tree, he saw some water plants and cranes. Cranes are the birds. Am I right? Cockerel. Usually the cranes are found where the water sources are nearby, because they used to get some food. That too, they get the fishes from the plants, from the water now. Yes. The cranes are usually found in the water sources or in the water area. So, when Nakula climbed up the tree, he come to know there were cranes and water plants. That's why, okay, he come to know there will be the water. Got it, my dear friends? What you would have do if you were in the place of Nakula? You would have, faced difficulties to found the water sources, that too in a forest. Am I right? Nowadays that we have a mobile phone that we can give a call to your friend or any inquiry or some emergency, that you send a message that we are in emergency, please. Yes, protect us, please save us. Okay, if you gave a message that anybody will come. But in those days, there was no such facilities, my dear friends. Got it? So, this is the plan. The people who were living in the forest were doing some ancient or so many years before, or that we had seen in the people who lived in the Stone Age and the early days, they have been using this type of technology, my dear friends. Okay, anyhow, so here Nakula climbed up the tree and looked around and said, that he could observe the water plants and cranes, and he said he felt very happy. Do you know why he felt very happy? See, there must certainly be the water there. He felt very happy when he looked at the cranes and water plants, because they are giving the clues that cranes and the water plants are giving him the clues that there must be the water. Got it, my dear friends? So, I hope that you have understood the first paragraph. Before going to going to the next stanza, my dear friends, let us see what are the important things are in this paragraph, my dear friends. See, I am going to underline some lines here. Look here, my dear friends. Nakula climbed the tree and looked around. At a little distance, I see water plants and cranes. See here, at a little distance, I see the water plants and cranes. See here, this line will be asked in your examination for extracts. Who is I here? I means God, Nakula. What do the water plants and cranes symbolizing or suggesting him? The water source. Got it? Whom did he say? He said it to his brother Yudhishthira. Why did he climb the tree? See, another line is there. Nakula climbed up the tree. See, my dear friends, here. This line is also important for examination. And let's move on to the next line, children, my dear friends. I hope that you are all observing this line also. Brother, climb the tree and see whether there is any pool or river nearby. See, who is the brother referred here, or who is the speaker here? The speaker is Yudhishthira. Very good. Who is the brother? Brother referred to Nakula. Am I right? What did he say? He saying to climb the tree and to search the water source. Did he find the water source? Yes, of course he found the water source near the pool. See, as I said, he saw the water plants and cranes there, and he found the water, pool there. He went there. When he went, so this is the magic pool or the enchanted pool that we come across, that we had seen in this story, my dear friends. So, let's move on to the next story, next paragraph. Shall we? Have you understood the first paragraph, my dear friends? Okay. See here. Yudhishthira sent him to fetch some water to drink. Nakula was glad when he got to the place and saw that there was a pool. He was very thirsty himself and so thought of quenching his thirst first before taking water into the quiver for his brothers. But no sooner did he dip in his hand in a transparent water, he heard a voice which said, "Stop, Nakula! Do not drink. This pool belongs to me. O son of Madri, answer my questions and then drink the water." Nakula was surprised, but carried away by his intense thirst, and heedless of warning, he knelt down and began to drink the water. At once, he began to feel terribly drowsy and he fell down, all appearance dead. See, my dear friends, when Nakula climbed the tree and saw there was a water source, so Nakula, he went in the same direction in which that he had seen the water plants and the cranes. Did he find the water source there? Yes, of course, he found the water source. There was a beautiful pool, children. When Yudhishthira sent Nakula to bring the water, "Hey, did you see the water plants? There must be certainly water there. You go and bring some water." Yudhishthira was very thirsty now, that's why he sent Nakula to bring the water. Nakula went in the direction where he had seen the water plants on the crane. When he went there, he felt very happy, children. Do you know why? Okay, his guessing was right because he saw the pool there. He felt very happy, children. And when he felt very happy, as soon as he saw the pool, he went to quench his thirst. Quench in the sense, in order to, he went to drink his thirsty. He went to drink the water in order to quench his thirst, my dear friends. So as soon as he looked at the water, he was also very tired now. He was also very much, tired and thirsty, feeling thirsty. That's why he felt very happy and went near the pool to drink the water. But when he went very closely, when he went to dip his hand in the transparent water, see there, children, there is a word transparent. You might have seen here the word transparent. What do you mean by transparent? It is very clear, crystal clear. That we had in water is a transparent thing, like just like a glass, just like a glass. It leave the light to go through. That's why that type of things will be called as a transparent. The water was very transparent in the sense it's a very pure and sacred water. In some of the falls that you might have seen, the water will be very cold and transparent, children, and it is very tasty too. That is called gravity water. We call such type of water as a gravity water, children. It has minerals in it, and it's even the filter cannot give the type of tasty water, gravity water. Such a transparent water had seen in that plant, in that pool, my dear friends. As soon as he looked at the transparent water, he tried to dip his hand to quench the thirst. But when he went, he was going to dip his hand to the water, he heard a voice. Stop, Nakula! Do not drink! This pool belongs to me. See, my dear friends, when he went very close to the water, he heard a voice. Somebody is warning there. This pool, and that voice is warning him, this pool belongs to me. Oh, son of Madri, answer my questions, then drink the water. See, the voice was warning him that to answer its questions before he drink the water. Nakula was surprised. Who is that? Somebody is speaking here. So he was surprised, he was shocked, listening at the voice, but carried away by his intense thirst. So he didn't give much attention towards the warning of that voice. He neglected the warning of that voice and he went to carried away his intense thirst, and heedless of warning, he went to drink the water. It didn't give much importance to the warning voice which was warned him before he was going to drink the water. He knelt down, he bent and took the water and started to drink. He drank the water. As soon as he drank the water, children, he fell down, all appearance dead. See, my dear friend, he fell down, all appearance dead. The great Nakula. The hero of the one of the heroes of the Pandavas was lied all appearance dead as soon as he drink the water. Then who may be that invisible voice? Then who is that person who warned Nakula? Can you guess? Do you know? Yes. Somebody said, but I will tell you later. Good. You are right. Okay. Just to maintain the curiosity, I do not tell you who maybe that person is. But it was giving him the warning, my dear friends. Even the great Nakula was unable to face that voice. He drank the water of that pool and all fell down, all appearance dead. When Nakula did not return for a long time, Yudhishthira sent When Nakula did not return for a long time, Yudhishthira sent Sahadeva to see what the matter was. Sahadeva went to bring the water. So Nakula went to bring the water, but Nakula didn't return for a long time. He went taking the quiver. He went to bring the water in a quiver and he didn't return for a long time. Here Yudhishthira was tense. What had been happened to Nakula? Why didn't he come? Okay, Sahadeva, you come here. Go and see whether he met with any danger or not. Go and bring. Like that he sent, Yudhishthira sent Sahadeva to see what the matter was. Sahadeva also came there. Sahadeva also ignored the warning. He also came to the same place. And as soon as he come to the place, he looked at a beautiful pool, isn't it? And he also ignored the warning of the invisible voice. He drank the water and at once dropped down. When Sahadeva too failed to return, Yudhishthira sent Arjuna to see whether the brothers had met with any danger. See children, after Nakula, Yudhishthira sent Sahadeva to see whether Nakula met with any danger. Nakula went and he also ignored the warning of the invisible voice and he also met the same fate. Here Yudhishthira was tensed and now it is the turn of Arjuna. He sent Arjuna and to see whether their brothers have been met any danger. Arjuna went swiftly. He saw his brothers lying dead near the pool, heartbroken with grief. He wanted to avenge their death. However, he too was overwhelmed by the monotonous thirst which compelled him towards the fatal pool. See, my dear friends, Yudhishthira was tense here, and now it is the turn of Arjuna. Arjuna also went in the direction his brothers went, gone. When he came there, he came near the pool, and he saw his brothers were lying dead, and he was He was very sad at looking at the brothers' condition. He wanted to avenge their deaths. He wanted to take a revenge on their death. However, he too was overwhelmed by the monotonous thirst which compelled him towards the fatal pool. When he looked at the pool, that has dragged him, he moved towards the fatal pool. Fatal in the sense, the unlucky fool, duradrushta ತರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಫೇಟಲ್ ಪೂಲ್ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡೋಯ್ತು ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದಟ್ ಹಿ ವಾಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಫೆಲ್ಟ್ ಥರ್ಸ್ಟಿ. ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಥರ್ಸ್ಟಿ we cannot control. It's very horrible to control thirst, my dear friends. That's why he went towards the fatal pool. Let us see what will happen to Arjuna. Again the warning voice was heard. Answer my questions before you drink the water. This pool is mine. If you disobey me, you will follow your brothers. Arjuna became very angry. He cried, "Who are you? Come and stand up to me, and I will kill you." He shot the sharp arrows in the direction of the voice. The invisible being laughed in scorn and said, "Your arrows can't touch me." Arjuna, your arrows can't touch me. Arjuna wanted to destroy this unseen foe. But first, he had to quench his terrible thirst. So, he drank the water and also fell down dead. See, my dear friends, here, all the great heroes of Pandavas, Nakula, Sahadeva, Arjuna, all the three brothers, the great heroes of Pandavas, are falling down, all appearance dead as soon as they drink the water. The great heroes become very weak when they drink the water of that pool. Who may be that invisible voice? See, when Arjuna went near the pool, he became very angry, children. He became very angry, and he wanted to take a revenge on the enemy which had made his brothers die. And when he went there, the invisible voice warned him. See, answer my questions before you drink the water, Mr. Arjuna. Arjuna, answer my questions first. It is telling him to answer his question, to answer the question that it is going to ask before going to drink the water. And also it is telling him that pool belongs to him. If you disobey me, see there, disobey, obey, disobey, opposite. So, underline the word, children. Okay, these sentences will be asked in your examination for extracts. Answer my questions first. This is said by the invisible voice. Answer my questions before you drink the water. It is said by the invisible voice. To whom was it said? It was said to Arjuna. And this pool is mine. It's also said by the invisible voice. And let us see what does it say. If you disobey me, you will follow your brothers. It's giving a warning to the Arjuna. Arjuna is one of the greatest heroes of Pandavas and Mahabharata. Okay, for him, the invisible voice is giving the warning. That's why he became very angry. See, he became very angry when this invisible voice gave him a warning. He cried, he shouted to them, "Who are you? Come and stand up to me, I will kill you. Come and stand up to me, I will kill you." See, these lines also said by Arjuna. Am I right, children? Okay. Who is the speaker of these lines? I will kill you. These lines are from are of Arjuna, and these okay lines are said to the invisible voice which warned him. Am I right? Okay, the invisible voice which gave a warning to the Arjuna. To that invisible voice, Arjuna is telling, and he is also okay warning to that invisible voice, my dear friends. Okay, he didn't stop there. He didn't stop at that, my dear friends. After giving a warning, he took the arrow and he shot the arrow in the direction of the voice arise. The invisible voice laughed in scorn and said, see, Arjuna became very angry and he shot the arrows towards the direction of that voice. But the invisible voice laughed at him. Arjuna, your arrows can't touch me. See, the arrows of Arjuna didn't touch the invisible voice, my dear friends. And Arjuna wanted to destroy that unseen foe. Seen, unseen. Foe, what do you mean by foe, my dear friends? Enemy. Look at here. Foe in the sense, enemy. Okay. Got it, my dear friends? See, it didn't touch it. The arrows did not touch his enemy, and it is laughing at him. It is mocking at him. It is mocking at the great hero called Arjuna. So, Arjuna neglect his unseen foe for a while, and he also went towards the fatal pool which made Sahadeva and Nakula to die. He neglected the foe and went to quench his thirst. As soon as he drank the water, he also fell down, all appearance dead. See, my dear friends, how strong may be the invisible voice. See. Now, see, Sahadeva, Nakula, Arjuna, all the three are dead, or fell down, all appearance dead. Only two people are remaining, only two Pandavas remaining. Yes, who are these? Very good. Bhima and very good, Yudhishthira. Now it's the turn of Bhima. Because that he only remained now. All the three brothers have been sent by Yudhishthira. After another anxious wait, Yudhishthira turned to Bhima. Dear brother, even Arjuna, the great hero, hasn't returned. Something terrible must have happened to our brothers. Please find them quickly. Bhima hurried away without another word. Like Arjuna, Bhima also did not heed the warning and drank the water eagerly, glaring around in defiance. And instantly, his great strength seemed to be slipped from him like a garment, and he also fell dead among his brothers. Wow! Look at here, my dear children. Even the great Bhima, who has a strength of 16,000 elephants, he also come to the same fate as his brothers had come. Yudhishthira was very much tensed because all his three brothers had not come now. So he sent Bhima, go and see whether our brothers had met with any danger, go see them. So like this he said him and sent. What happened to Bhima? For Bhima also. Okay. He also failed to handle the situation, my dear friends. See, when he went there, he also hurried with her. He went very quickly in order to find, or in order to see whether his brothers had met with any danger. He went very quickly. Like Arjuna, how Arjuna did not, in the same way, even the great hero of Pandavas called Bhima also did not heed the warning of the invisible voice. Yes. Who is that voice? Invisible. Invisible means unseen. Got it? He also neglected the warning. The unseen enemy also gave the warning to Bhima also. Hey Bhima, do not drink the water. This pool belongs to me. Answer my questions first before you drink the water. Like this, it gave him a warning. Bhima, he was a strong hero, and he neglected he also heedless to the warning of that invisible voice, and he drank the water. When he eagerly drank the water, he glaring around in defiance, and his instantly his great strength seemed to slip from his like a garment, and he also fell dead among his brothers. See, the great hero, he was the strongest hero of the Pandavas. The strength, the stamina of Bhima fell down like a garment. As he drank the water, he started to feel like a weak, my dear friends. And he also fell down, all appearance dead. See, look at here, children. In these five paragraphs that we come across, one of the invisible voice which seems to be stronger than the Pandavas. Even Sahadeva, Nakula, Bhima, Arjuna are unable to face that enemy. Who may be that enemy, my dear friends? Can you guess? Yes? If you can know who may be that unseen foe. Yes. Okay. If you know that, just keep in your mind. When the time will come, we will come to know that who is that unseen enemy or the unseen foe. See. Actually, all these four brothers went to pool, and in order to quench their thirst, they drink the water and they come to this condition. They might have tried to answer the question, na? They might have tried to answer, na? They ignored the warning of that invisible voice. Let us see what will happen next. Puzzled and worried that his brothers had not returned, Yudhishthira was shocked. The great heroes of the Pandavas like Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva had not returned. The Yudhishthira, the elder brother of all the Pandavas, was very much tensed, and he was shocked, my dear friends. And now Yudhishthira himself proceeded in the direction his brothers had taken. Now it is the turn of Yudhishthira, and he himself went in the direction all his brothers had gone. When he had come near the pool, he saw his four brothers lying on the ground all appearance dead. Look at there, my dear friends. Look at here. When he come near the pool, he saw all his four brothers were lying dead. All appearance dead. When he come there, he saw all his four brothers were lying like a dead bodies. He was shocked. He got into the pool and quenched his thirst. He was shocked first. Oh my God, what happened to my brothers? He was sad and shocked. He turned to his right and he saw the water there. So, he got into the pool to quench his thirst. So, as soon as he see the pool, he went to quench his thirst. At once a voice without a form warned him. Your brothers died because they did not heed my words. Do not follow them. Answer my questions. Answer my questions first. And then quench your thirst. This pool is mine. See, as he went to drink the water, he heard the invisible voice which warned him also. Do not follow your brothers. See, it is warning them. Your brothers died because they did not heed my warning. Look at the lines, my dear friends. Got it? Who said this? Said by Yaksha. Answer my questions first. Look at here. Answer my questions first and quench your thirst. This is also said by Yaksha. Am I right? So, see here. As soon as Yudhishthira entered to the place, he was puzzled. Do you know why he was puzzled? Because he had seen all his brothers lying dead. Okay, puzzled and worried. Okay, here he was puzzled and worried. Why was Yudhishthira puzzled and worried? Because his brothers did not return for a long time. That's why he was puzzled, my dear friends. Look at here. The warning voice is giving him a warning, and it is telling that pool belongs to it and he could not drink the water. Okay, it's warning him not to drink the water. And also it is giving him a suggestion. If you want to drink the water, answer my questions first. Am I right? It is telling him to give the answer to its question. So like this. Okay. Yudhishthira, when he came near the pool, he come to understand what had been. He looked at the pool and understand what had been happened to his brothers. Yudhishthira knew that these words could be none other than the words of Yaksha, and guessed what had happened to his brothers. See, my dear friends. He saw a possible way of redeeming the situation. He said to the bodiless voice, "Please ask your question." The voice put the questions rapidly one after another. See, my dear friends. Here Yudhishthira, he guessed what had been happened to his brothers. Because just he listened carefully and he find out and he guessed those words are none other than Yaksha. These are the words of Yaksha. Who is Yaksha? Okay, Yaksha is the form of God. Am I right? He guessed, oh, this is the voice of Yaksha, and he guessed what had been happened to his brothers also. So he thought to ready to solve the problem, and he thought and he guessed what had been happened to his brothers. Maybe all my brothers have no is heedless to the warning of this Yaksha. That is why this Yaksha may have given a curse for them to die. Okay, like this he guessed. I hope now you can understand who is that bodiless voice is. You are right, my dear friends. That bodiless voice is none other than Yaksha, the divine power. Got it? Yes, and Yudhishthira has planned to solve the problem. So that is why he requested the Yaksha, and he posed like this in front of that bodiless voice and told it to ask a question. Okay, because it said now the bodiless voice, the unseen foe, the invisible voice told him to answer his questions before he drink the water. That is why he postured like this in front of the bodiless voice. Got it? Let us see in the next class what questions it may ask to the Yudhishthira. It started to put the questions rapidly, one after another, children. Fat, like this. Got it? Let us see what questions that Yaksha asked to Yudhishthira and how Yudhishthira tried to solve the questions. Okay? Let us see it in a next class. Before going to the next class, let us sum up briefly. This is the story of Yaksha and Pandavas. Okay, Yaksha wanted to test Pandavas. That is why when all the Pandavas went near the pool, as soon as they drink the water, they died, all appearance dead. Okay, they did not accept Yudhishthira. No Pandavas tried to answer the questions of Yaksha, and they come to this problem. But Yudhishthira tried to solve the problem, and he is going to answer the questions that is going to ask my dear friends. And that bodiless voice is none other than God, Yaksha. I hope that you have understood the first 7 paragraphs, my dear friends. Okay, before going to conclude that, I will ask you a few questions, my dear friends. Whom did Yudhishthira send to see the water? Very good. He sent Nakula. How did Nakula come to know the water source? Yes, he climbed up the nearby tree and looked around him, and he saw the water plants and cranes, and he discovered the water source. Did he found the water source when he went near the pool? Yes, of course, when he went near the pool, when he went to the place, he found the water source. Who was that invisible voice which warned all the Pandavas? Very good. That invisible voice is none other than Yaksha. Very good, my dear friends. Why did Arjuna become very angry, upset when he went near the pool? Because he had seen all his brothers or seen all appearance dead when he went near the pool. That's why he felt upset and he became very angry. Your arrows can't touch me. Who said this? Yaksha. To whom was it said? It was said to Arjuna. Got it? Yes, like this, children. Okay. Write these questions in your home and practice these questions, and also underline the sentences which I am already underlined while I am giving the explanation of these paragraphs, my dear friends, and practice the extracts in your home. I hope that you have understood today's class. Let us see in the tomorrow's class. Thank you.